So here I proudly present my wooden dummy, the actual Mark II. The others have just been improvisations on the Mark I that you all know. This is the actual Mark II dummy. I will go in so that you see a close-up of the holding construction. As you can see, those are massive screw bars, 3, that go through the whole main corpus into the holding section, and that are fixated like this, and like this. This is the back side of a fixation of an arm that is in. And this, in its entirety, is the holding construction. So I have 3 ground anchors. 2 of them you actually see. One is hidden below that wooden log construction here, but it is another ground anchor that holds this main support beam. From there 2 horizontal beams go out to the 2 secondary support beams, and a construction. It has been made, since I have had very bad experiences in the last time, this time all the screws that are actually in are stainless steel for outdoor. This has been glued together with wooden glue and wooden connectors, because every carpenter told me that using only steel and screws is no good. This wooden construction under the main body that you see here is mainly to make sure that there is no direct ground contact of the main body, so no moisture can keep up. This is heavy-duty rubber mat, porous rubber mat, that is normally under heavy machinery, laundry machines and the stuff. This is also glued and wood pegged together, and the main body. Like I said, right now you see it in a setup that represents the Southern Shaolin setup. And yeah, I know I didn't get the angles quite right. In the going on of the video you will see why that doesn't matter so much. Like I said, you see maybe here there is the square hole. I put it up one in a diamond shape, and not square like this, but like this. This arm you see here, that is going completely through the arm, so that really takes some punishment. Now I will give you a view of me and the dummy so you have an idea of the size. So, that will be me and my wooden dummy. Slightly oversized as it would seem, but like I say, this is just the first phase of my Mark II. I'm planning to bring on some mobile arms. I mean, this is just the Southern Shaolin setup with all the arms static. I will have a mobile arm choi style that goes like this. As you can see, from a merely Southern Shaolin or Wing Chun wooden dummy, which is the most frequently used wooden dummy in the world these days, I think. you can see I got the arms. They are slightly too high, and I didn't get the angles right. Now that is not very much of a catastrophe, because since I built it myself, since I know exactly how it works, if I really want to put the arms somewhere else, I just use my electric drilling machine, drill another hole, unscrew the arms, hammer them out because they sit very tightly, and put them in somewhere else. I will demonstrate. So, after I unscrew the long screw bar, I take this and this to just hammer the arm out. There, as you can see from the close-up, this thingy goes out for quite a long time. This has been done in the traditional way, where a square peg is cut out of the round arm. By the way, these have been just hardwood table legs that I abused for the purpose. They are also still too long, but I intend to cut them to the right length while collecting experience on the dummy so that they really have the right length for me. And as you can see, there's a matching hole in the dummy. Now, let us assume that I want the arm somewhere else. Then I drill another hole, just put it through, screw it tight, and be it done. Because as it turned out, if you screw it so tight, you do not actually need the square holes and the square pegs to prevent the arms from turning. I wish I had known that beforehand, because that was quite some work to get that out. But be that as it may, I can easily attach any kind of gadgets and shenanigans to this without disturbing its mechanical stability. And getting it in is as easy. You just put it through. Hammer it in and be it done. As I promised, some things to practice. First of all, the too wide arms are not that much of a hindrance because I do not know how wide the arms or how narrow the arms of my opponent are going to be in the street. So forcing myself to perform the form that I'm so direly used to with arms that are actually too wide just gives me a boosted flexibility and adaptation. And like I said, if I want a comfortable width of arms, I just drill two other holes and have the arms a little bit more narrow. Also, the screws go in up to about here, so there is a lot of lengths that I can just saw off if the arms prove too long. And quite frankly, they are a little bit too long for my own personal comfort. But maybe I will just make shorter ones. The beauty is I can have arms for all occasions. Now, as to some specific drills. Let's say we take a look at Bongsa. You know, translated on the dummy as now, what's in there? First of all, what's in there is just a regular, straightforward attack. Right? So, if nothing comes in between me and the other guy, I just keep attacking him. Now let's say something does come between me and the other guy. And it does come in from above. Then my attacking hand is forced down because the other guy is stronger. And oh wonder, it forms a bong sao. His second hand is still here. What happens? If my structure is sound, my own forward energy, don't forget this happens out of a forward step. My own forward energy, my structure and the other guy's incoming force will push me to the side. Just like that. That's the first thing that happens. And we can practice that in isolation, right? Maybe you see something else from here. I don't know. You see my back, but maybe. So you see, I attack with my left hand, nothing happens. Now I attack, I'm intercepted, and you see, it's my own bong sao, my own structure, that, if I get it right, my own structure that puts me away. If you will compare my left bong sao, which I did correctly, to my right bong sao, I will perform it now on this arm, which I did incorrectly, because this didn't collapse, and on the right side, I allowed myself to be collapsed. So, I can, if I a video review, see that. I can see if I did it right. If I do it right, see, now it's not collapsed. And it pushes me out of the way. The first thing, I practice. Second thing I practice, I attack. Like I said, if nothing comes in, I just hit the guy. If something comes in from above, the whole physics of the situation is diverting me. It's not even a reflex or a reaction necessary. That just happens. Once that happens, I can utilize the energy further. This is spanning my whole arm. If I unspan it, there you have it, an attack. Which is not very sensational if I just use this form with my arm. Now imagine my whole body structure is behind it. So, instead of hitting the guy here, the only thing his deflecting punch has achieved is I hit him somewhere here. Have my other hand here. Posed for the second strike. So far in this shell, we have discovered to deflect ourselves by just upholding our structure. So we need enough strength to uphold our structure, which needs muscular strength, tendon strength, and the strength that comes out of correct body alignment. And such an unyielding dummy is actually rather good to teach your body the correct alignment and elasticity. It makes you a yielding body, yielding as opposed to collapsible. Because you need a yielding body, because normally only guys that are stronger than you will attack you. Imagine you are a woman and you probably cannot defend yourselves Honga style. Probably. But you can defend yourselves. Or let's say you cannot defend yourselves Honga style as maybe Army could have. So you need a more adaptable style. And the unyielding dummy forces you to learn yielding. Let's see. Let's say your timing gets mixed up and you cannot get to your hit. And you just hit here. So, instead of hit, now you have jam hit. It's still one fluent motion. Now, for the third thing, grab whatever you can get hold of, pull by turning. Of course, then you would also be right for one of the next moves. Press down and elbow, or press down and elbow. But that is just a logical flow that would come in the dummy. Let's not stray. So, this movement actually teaches a lot more. Because if we teach a dummy or learn a dummy form, then also this just gives us a shell from where to build. And we have to explore the potential of that shell by doing isolation exercises and comparing what we can do on the dummy to what we can do in thin air to what we can do on the partner. Sadly, I don't have one right now. Good news are always welcome. Now, like I said, this all happens on my way forward. And as you can see, this was nothing at all like what I just did. I just kept my forward momentum and kept flowing. So, when you do isolation exercises that you develop out of a shell, you may surprise yourselves what your body is capable of doing at the time. And you only get that from isolation exercises or isolation drills. Now, we are still not done with this bombshell exercise. Let's assume the other guy doesn't get us here, but more here. Look at that. So, the whole thing, if it is here, more pinky side, will get me out. If it is more elbow side, the whole arm, upon impact, you can practice that slowly. You go forward, you are intercepted. The whole arm just rolls out. You remember from Poor Man's Wooden Dummy, I believe part 2, where I had the intercept and this kind of coiling, snaking punch. You see? It's the same thing. And again, if the alignment of our bodies and the elasticity we put in the forward intent, the elastic forward intent, is just right, then this just happens. So the arm is rolled by the pressure that the dummy puts on my elbow. The only thing I do is I maintain my forward pressure intent, move my body forward, and don't give lateral pressure to the dummy. And as you can see, my arm is rolled by the pressure of the dummy. Now I have no resistance and my arm slides forward. So this is going in, rolling and sliding forward. So now, there you have it. For a moment, imagine this is a blindfold. And some partner is moving me a little bit back and forth before the dummy so that I do not exactly know where the arms are. And now I attack. I never know at which end I will come up. Then, more and more I stop. Of course, in the beginning when I practice this, I make the move happen. Because I haven't got it all right. I haven't got the timing right, the spacing, the positioning, the coordination. So yes, of course, I artificially make the move. I mean, there is enough of these moves in the form that I practice to allow the body to get accustomed to the shapes. And this is just using the same shapes that the body has been accustomed to in the form in a dummy practice with more pressure. Pressure that also allows me to toughen up my limbs. This now was not collapsing, this was something that in Tai Chi is called folding. So, now we have a complete isolation exercise, and all developed from the initial attack move of my form and the, shall we say, mother move, for lack of a better word, of the Lapsau drill. So this is what is in there. Now, of course, if we want to complement that, we have to go with the same thing here. And we go outside. And that is what we already know as the punch drill, or the bunting drill for those who are more accustomed to the Filipino lines of thinking. Because, what have we here? This doesn't make a lot of sense before I haven't showed it on the partner, because also the time is running out, I think. So, as for some conditioning drills, as I already said, you can do the dumb sizing, the 3-star blocking, in the milder form. And when I say milder form, that means that I have more area of impact, and thus the whole forearm is conditioned. And not just a very tiny piece, because normally, like I already said, when we do the dumb sizing on the dummy, we very quickly learn to do that with a sweet spot where our block has the most power, where we have the most impact. And believe me, if you do that on the dummy, you find your sweet spot really quick, because it's also the spot where it hurts less. So, if you want your whole arm, you do it like this. Also, this allows you to not just hit laterally, but hit laterally while develop a certain kind of drilling quality. You see, this is just a lateral hit. This is drilling. This, you remember the rise drill, overturn fall? It's hidden in there again. It's rise drill, overturn fall. So there is a forward component, and you learn that better on the trunk of the dummy, and only when you learn that on the trunk of the dummy can you actually apply it to the arms. And of course, apply. If you go for something as crazy as this, you should. And so forth. You should have some qigong practice that goes along with it, and you should apply some form of ditajo or lineament. Otherwise, your progress will be slowed down, and you will probably risk lasting damage, and we don't want that. After all, Kung Fu is also for longevity. Something else, if you are more praying mantis oriented, you can really practice the plucking movement almost as an isometric movement, and that is one of the things that such an immobile and big and sturdy dummy can offer you a tremendous amount of positions where you can practice of isometric practice with all different kind of positions, and since it has a body and arms, you can make them very specific for combative needs. So, I think that was an overview. Hope it wasn't too boring. I thank you for watching. And now I will have the thankless job of sanding the lady again and giving her another coat. But this is an outdoor dummy, so she has to be protected against the rain. Thanks for watching. Take care.